I'm sure all of you are as ecstatic as I am for our keynote speaker for the DTAC 2021. Our keynote speaker, at only 12 years of age, has achieved more than the average 12-year-old girl. Ambitious, creative, confident are all the words that come to mind when seeing her. She is a motivational speaker, a radio presenter, an event master of ceremonies, a YouTuber, a kids presenter, a brand ambassador, and DTAC Dubai 2019 keynote speaker. We can definitely learn a lot from our new generation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, District 116 proudly presents DTAC 2021 keynote speaker, Ashna Taktiani. Be the best version of yourself.
Thank you so much, Sidi, for that wonderful introduction. It is my honor to be given this opportunity to speak at such an amazing platform. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Wow, what a fantastic event, great speakers, and awesome energy. Okay, guys, tell me, how many of us like ice cream? Raise your hand if you like ice cream. Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to raise both my hands for that because I absolutely love ice cream. Okay, can you guys tell me what the best-selling ice cream flavor in the world is? Write it down in the chat box. Is it butterscotch? Is it chocolate? Is it strawberry? Is it cotton candy? So write down what you think is the best-selling ice cream flavor. Okay. Keep going. All right, well, as some of you have written, the best-selling ice cream flavor in the world is vanilla. Now let me tell you the second best-selling ice cream flavor. It is chocolate. Okay, guys, now here comes the most important question. Ready? Listen. What do you think is the difference in sales between vanilla, the best-selling ice cream flavor, and chocolate, the second best-selling ice cream flavor? Is the difference 5%? Is the difference 10%? Is it 15%? So again, write down your guess in the chat box. What do you think is the difference? Okay, someone's written down 20%, someone's written 1%. It's higher than that, guys. Higher than 100, higher than 50, higher than 500. Well, you'll be shocked to know that the difference in sales between the best-selling and the second best-selling ice cream flavor is 1,000%. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the minimum difference between our best version of ourselves and our second best version. But this is where we operate for most part of our lives. And the saddest part is that majority of us don't even know what the best version of ourselves looks like. Forget about operating from it. The biggest challenge that we face while defining the best version of ourselves is that we underestimate our own potential. We underestimate ourselves. I want to share a recent conversation that I had with my friends at school. So we're all sitting together at playtime and we were talking about what we want to be when we grow up. Now, one of my friends, Andrew, he starts by saying, well, I have a realistic goal and an unrealistic goal. Now, when I heard that, I was kind of confused. So I asked him, Andrew, what do you mean by you have a realistic goal and an unrealistic goal? Well, Ashna, you are what I call an optimist, whereas I am what I call a realist. I'm sorry, Andrew, you're what now? See, you're all hopeful about the future and all that stuff, whereas I think from the practical approach, and I know that not all things are within our reach. It's just not possible. Right. what is the so-called unrealistic goal of yours? Well, my unrealistic goal is to be a football coach, like the one who makes tactics and strategies. But if I had to be a football coach, then I should have started playing 6 years ago. Well, Andrew, you know there's no wrong time to start anything. You can still be a football coach. You are only 12 years old after all. No, Ashnam, you don't understand. It's an unrealistic goal now. I guess I'm going to have to stick with my realistic goal to work for a company like Google. Now, guys, if that is an unrealistic goal for a 12-year-old boy, then what chance would you give a 7-year-old girl to be a radio presenter on a live radio show? Almost 0%, right? It's unrealistic, isn't it? But I have lived that dream. And the reason that I lived that dream was because I never put a limit to my goal. Whereas most of us, like my friend Andrew, we hide behind the words realist, prudent, practical, pragmatic, while defining ourselves and our goals. And instead, we choose goals which we think are achievable. We don't write big, audacious goals because somewhere, deep down, we're scared to fail. And that fear of failure prevents us from even defining what the best version of ourselves looks like. Today, I want you to define your best version. And I want you to think fearlessly about how does the best version of yourself look like? Before you start to think about your best self, please let go of where you are today. What are your means? Let go of all inhibitions. Stop being realistic and then define your best self. Now, in order to achieve our goals, we need to be in the right frame of mind. And the best way to change our mindset and be more positive is by expressing gratitude for what we already have in life. Because when we express gratitude, we start to feel happy, and our focus shifts from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude is extremely powerful. And to prove my point, I'd like to share a true story of a 29-year-old girl named Mary Young. One day, when Mary was around 16 years old, she was playing rugby with her friends at school. But while playing rugby, Mary bumped her head a few times and got a concussion. Now, in the beginning, it wasn't that bad a concussion, but after a few weeks, she started to have migraine pain, vertigos, vomiting, and she wasn't able to concentrate on anything. Her life turned upside down. The migraine pain that she would have would last for 25 days every single month. And her vertigos became so bad that even when she was sitting down, she was unable to make sense of whether everything was actually up or down. And wherever she went, she felt that the ground was constantly shaking. She was unable to read or write. And even if she was able to read, she was unable to make sense of what she was actually reading. And at that time, for her, even a simple question like, what is the date, would take her 2 minutes to actually understand, and even longer to respond. She had consulted many doctors, but with no luck. She tried everything from therapy to alternative medicines, medications, but all in vain. And this lasted for several years. One day, when Mary is around 23 years old, a friend of hers told her to start a gratitude journal and write down what she is grateful for. But Mary replied, "My life is a mess. I'm constantly in pain and have nothing in my life to be grateful for. So what do I write in that gratitude journal?" her friend told her to start by writing down even the smallest of things which she's grateful for. Now, that could be the food that she ate, it could be her friends and family who support her, or the fact that she's actually alive and breathing right now. So Mary started writing down anything and everything which she was grateful for. And at the same time, she also started doing some light exercise. Now, after around a year of doing these two activities, the pain subsided. Her migraine pain that she would have for 25 days every single month, well, it mitigated to occurring 1 day every 2 months. And by the time she was 26, she was completely relieved of the pain. Such is the power of gratitude. Expressing gratitude is essential because we often take for granted all that life offers us without being grateful. So start a gratitude journal and witness the magic of gratitude yourself. Now, once we've defined the best version of ourselves, we've written down our goals, and we've started a gratitude journal, the next step is to now combine this with a solid action plan. Now, we need to define action for each of our goals. And not only that, but we also need to have metrics against each action point in order to measure our success towards the achievement of our goals. Now, let me explain this with an example. One of my goals is to be a TEDx speaker. And my action points are, I need to gain more knowledge by reading books, I need to increase my vocabulary, and I need to be a better speaker. So those are my action points. But how do I know if I'm on track? Well, by putting metrics against each action point. I need to gain more knowledge by reading 1 nonfiction book a month. I need to increase my vocabulary by learning 1 new word a day. I need to be a better speaker by having a total of 15 speaking assignments in a year. And I need to speak in front of 10,000 people in a year. So now I measure myself against each of these metrics regularly to ensure that I'm on track. And if I deviate, then I know which steps I need to take. So if you reach this far, you'll be really enthusiastic and energetic and excited, and you'll be taking out every single action that you've taken so far. But what happens when we miss our mark a few times? What happens when we're faced with a few rejections? Well, ants start to crawl in our head, and we start to feel demotivated. Now, you're probably looking at me really confused, trying to figure out, well, what kind of ants are these? Well, ANTS is actually an acronym, and it stands for Automatic Negative Thoughts. Now, raise your hand if you've ever had a negative thought before. Right? We all get negative thoughts. It's part of being human. But what's important is that we shouldn't let these negative thoughts control our way of thinking. Because if we do, then we start to doubt ourselves, believing those negative thoughts, and that reduces our self-confidence. So the question is, what do we do? How do we get rid of these negative thoughts? How do we kill these ants? Well, simple. We'll kill them with magic. Have you ever heard of the phrase abracadabra? Yeah? We hear many magicians use them, and today we're going to try a little bit of magic ourselves to kill these ants. ABRA is another acronym. Let's look at what it means. Now, the A in ABRA stands for acknowledge. The first step to actually getting rid of these ants is to acknowledge that they exist. Because like I said before, it's okay to have negative thoughts. It's part of being human. You should know how to kill them. So A stands for acknowledge. Now the B in ABRA stands for breathe. Okay, what I want you guys to do now is I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that the air all around you is filled with positivity. And now what I want you to do is I want you on the count of 3 to take a deep breath and take all that positive energy to wherever you feel that negative thought is, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Now the R in Abra stands for release. So release that negative thought. Kick it out of your system. And the last A in Abra stands for align. So now that you've breathed in that positive energy, you've taken it to wherever you feel that negative thought is, and you've kicked that negative thought out of your system, it's time to now align it with something more positive. For example, if your aunt was, oh man, I don't know this and I'm gonna fail for sure, then align it with something more positive, like, I don't know this yet, but I'm not going to give up. So you see, next time you feel an ant just crawling in your head, you know what to do. You can simply kill it with abracadabra. Now guys, I've got some news for you. You can do everything that we've just discussed today. You can define your best self. You can write down your goals. You can start a gratitude journal. You can write down your action plan, and you can kill ants with abracadabra whenever those negative thoughts arise. But there's a good chance that you may still fail if your environment is not conducive for success. Because your environment creates powerful subconscious motivators that make working towards your goal far easier. Because at the end of the day, your environment will always triumph your willpower. I myself have experienced the power of environment. I've been taking piano lessons for many years, and I love it. I love piano. But in my previous school, none of my friends were really interested in music. So although I was taking piano lessons, I wasn't enjoying it as much, and I was starting to lose interest in piano. But then, when I shifted schools and I changed my school to this one, I found some of my friends who are really passionate in music. And they helped me get right back into music. In fact, they've helped me so much that now me and my best friend, we go to the music room every lunch break, we play the piano for 10 minutes, and then we go outside to eat and play. So that is what your environment can do to you. I haven't taken piano lessons in the last 15 months, but in the past 2 months, I've been enjoying piano more than ever. Now, I know you all want to be really good speakers, and that's why you've joined the Toastmasters Club, all like-minded people pushing each other to be better speakers. And all of you would have noticed a sea change in your ability as speakers from the first time that you actually joined this club. So you see, right environment is key to bring in any change. Now guys, before I leave, I want you to do something for me. I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and visualize your best self standing right there, inviting you. Come and start this journey. Please pick up that pen and paper and write down those goals to be fit, to practice more, to be better speakers, to improve at your skill, art, profession, to love and serve the people all around you. Let us start taking action. Be disciplined to achieve our goals. Please, stop watching other people's stories on social media, or those mindless series on Netflix, or watching negative content. Instead, devote your time to your own creativity, with family and friends, learning, growing, and creating experience. Let us start that gratitude journal and be grateful for all the beautiful gifts that life has presented us, so that we can get more of it. Let us be free, live fearlessly, and live to our full potential. And remember that we have only one life, one chance to be our own hero. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ashna Taktani signing out.